Good day. Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Sunday, December 12, 2021. Months before leaving office, President Rodrigo Duterte has admitted that he failed in his push to establish a federal system of government in the country. Speaking at a democracy summit hosted by United States President Joe Biden, Duterte said his federalism project was meant to broaden democratic participation in the Philippines, but admitted that this will no longer happen. The federalism initiative has been vigorously pushed by Duterte, but it has failed to muster enough support from Congress. In 2019, the president urged lawmakers to amend the constitution to improve the country's situation if they are no longer interested in pursuing federalism. Duterte, who has been pushing for federalism and charter change since the 2016 campaign, said it was fine if the lawmakers did not favor it. Less than 7 months before the end of his term, President Rodrigo Duterte assured the public of honest, peaceful, credible, and free 2022 presidential elections, which will determine his successor. In his intervention during the virtual summit for democracy that was hosted by the United States, Duterte said he would proudly turn over the presidency to his successor, knowing that he did his best for his country. With his remaining months as president, Duterte said he will make sure that no Filipino will be left behind, especially in the recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. Philippine bet Beatriz Luigi Gomez brings her unique beauty and grace as she joins close to 80 other contestants from around the world during the 70th Miss Universe preliminary competition held Saturday Manila time, live from the Universe Arena in Eilat, Israel. Since the start of the show, the hashtags #GoMissUniverse, #Beatriz Luigi Gomez, and #MissUniverse trended over Twitter. During the introduction, the 26-year-old Cebuana stunner confidently stood tall and showed her bright smile as she wore a one-shoulder silver Porsche and scarlet cocktail dress, the pageant's official dress sponsor. Vice presidential aspirant Emmanuel Manny Lopez vowed to be a working and productive vice president should he be elected to the second highest post in the country. During an interview on the Manila Times TV's Diretsong Pananaw, Lopez said he is very confident that he could do the job of vice president. Lopez is running for the vice presidency under the Labor Party of the Philippines or LPP, which he describes as a democratic socialist political party. The Department of Health or DOH is coordinating with vaccine manufacturer AstraZeneca to determine if the more than 100,000 vaccines whose shelf life has expired in November can still be used in its immunization drive. According to the Health Undersecretary and National Vaccination Operations Center Chief Mirna KUWTT, most of the vaccines are under quarantine in the DOH regional offices. KUWTT said the extension of vaccine shelf life has been applied to Pfizer, BioNTech, and Sinovac, whose manufacturers allow their vaccines to be used beyond the 6-month shelf life of vaccine as long as stability data is presented to the FDA. She said that the vaccines that have lapsed their shelf life are part of the donations received by the Philippines, which KUWTT said is not applicable for a swap with the same vaccine with a longer shelf life. KUWTT said the main reason why these near-expiring vaccines were not used was due to the supply glut of vaccines that arrived in November, as well as the lack of monitoring by some vaccination centers over their deployment. President Rodrigo Duterte has issued an executive order instituting measures to ensure and accelerate the total electrification of the entire country as part of his administration's program to spread the benefits of economic growth to stakeholders at the grassroots level. Duterte signed on Thursday Executive Order 156 to institute measures to ensure consistent and reliable electricity service in inadequately served areas, improve performance of ineffective distribution utilities, and achieve total electrification of the country. Over the business, the country's gross international reserves or GIR fell to a 2-month low of $107.66 billion at the end of November due to national government debt payments and a lower gold price, according to Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP. The sum was 0.20% lower than the $107.88 billion reported at the end of November last year, but 2.72% more than the $104.81 billion reported a year before, according to preliminary numbers released by the central bank over the weekend. The sum at the end of November was the lowest since it hit $105.59 billion at the end of September this year. In sports, Filipino tennis ace Alex Ayala and Argentinian partner Solana Sierra bowed out in the Junior Orange Bowl Tennis Championship at the Frank Veltri Tennis Center in Plantation, Florida on Saturday morning, Philippine time. Ayala and Sierra were ousted by the duo of Swiss Chelsea Fontenelle and American Kavya Lopez 6-3, 5-7, 10-2 in the quarterfinals of the girls' doubles event. After a seesaw battle in the first two sets, Fontenelle and Lopez proved to be steadier down the stretch as they dominated Ayala and Sierra in the third. The match marked the conclusion of Ayala's 2021 season as she also exited the Orange Bowl singles division, losing to Czech Kristina Tomachkova 3-6, 3-6 in the second round last Thursday. Today's front page columnist is Marlen Ronquillo. He laments the state of the country during the pandemic. Our editorial today believes that mobile phones and other gadgets should be telco agnostic. Read a full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram and keep up with the Times. For the Manila Times, this is Paulo Imapi.